You want to take a blast to the past? This Star Trek episode is for you. I'm Inside and I saw Star Trek the original series all our yesterdays. It is directed by Marvin J. Chomsky, written by Jean Lisette Aroeste, and if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This episode starts, we're following the USS Enterprise as they go to this planet with their star about to go nova. They go to this planet and they're like, yo, your planet's about to be caught in an explosion by the sun. What you gonna do? But when they get there, there's only one person. And the person, he calls himself the librarian. He's like, oh, you want to go anywhere in time? Oh, yeah, anywhere you choose, anywhere you're interested in, we'll send you there. We'll get you some books. And I like how there's an obvious miscommunication happening here because Kirk is trying to find out, where's everybody? This guy's like, oh, I'm the librarian. And then Kirk goes into this thing, but the librarian's like, no, you weren't prepped yet, right? Goes to this time period. And the time period seems to be, I guess, medieval times. What I like is that we have Kirk goes through this portal thing, and then he can hear Spock and McCoy there, and they're in some sort of ice age because they also walk through this portal, and they can talk to each other. Some of the people who live there are like, witch, you're a witch, because there's some voices. We can hear those voices, and those aren't from anywhere, so you must be a witch. That's the natural conclusion of things. And then he gets sent to prison. He's like, I gotta figure out how to get out. How do I get back to time? And, you get the prosecutors like, oh, you can't go back in time. If you've been prepped, your body can't go back to the future or where we were. So you're stuck here forever. And Kirk's like, I wasn't prepared. And this guy's like, oh my goodness, you're about to die in a couple hours. If you don't get back, let me take you back. And then he gets taken back. And the librarian's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you got here. You're lucky to get back here. Now let me properly prepare you. And Kirk's like, no, I gotta get my friends. What's happening with Spock and McCoy? So they're in an ice age. McCoy gets frostbitten, and then there's this chick who's like, oh my goodness, it's a person, and takes McCoy and Vulcan in, and they're having a nice little chill time as McCoy sleeps. Spock seems to be getting more and more emotional, which is interesting because I guess they went back past to the point in which Sukar would have led the logical revolution, and so he's emotional because of that. Okay. I don't think they were prepped either, honestly. So Spock is becoming more emotional. I don't quite understand how exactly. I mean, I understand that if you're in the time period, then all your molecules or whatever are going to be adapted to that. But how does this change your behavior? I don't know. But McCoy is noticing this, and it takes until like a big emotional thing, like, oh my goodness, this lady that you saved me, oh my goodness, I love you so much. It only takes until that, when McCoy, now conscious again, is like, Spock, you're being emotional here. And Spock's like, oh yeah, you're right, how do we get back? Luckily, Kirk came back and is able to retrieve them, and then they're able to beam back up to the Enterprise. And it's like a weird episode. Honestly, it felt like the studio had a lot of props or something, like a lot of leftover props, and just needed to use it, so it was used. Because this is a weird one. It's just them going back in time, and what do they learn? I don't know. Don't go into random arches, or else you'll get turned back to time and then have to live in the time period. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe if you aren't prepared, then your molecules are distorted more, and that's what's happening to Spock in this episode. That's pretty much the only thing I can really think of. But other than that, this is an alright episode. I mean, for the penultimate of the entire series, it's kind of a mid, Honestly, I was expecting something a little bit more awesome. But this one is fine. It's a fine episode. It's fun. But would I watch it again? Probably not. So I gotta give this episode a solid... it's a 7.2 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. Go to patreon.com/ASEPresents to request one movie review per 1 month for $20 dinos a month. Support the daily grindiness of all them daily movies. Go to his link tree, find the way you can also daily grind of all them daily movies. So I can go here. And until next time, mint salad saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and baked bits. You know, if I left through these doors, would it send me back through time? I'm about to find out. Oh, no, it's just a vacuum of space.